ちは、レイブです。無事タスクをちょっと急ぎのものを終わらせたのでやっていきたいと思います。ただちょっとね、3時に出かける用事あるんで、まあ長くても2時間くらいかなっていう感じですね。どこまでいけるかな、2時間で。チャプター4までは行ってるからもう半分ぐらいは終わってんだよね。半分以上か。うん。確かこのゲームチャプター7で終了なんで。しかし相変わらずロードが長いね、このゲーム。いやー、2周目も気になる。ストーリー的には気になるんだけどさ、このいろいろとゲームシステムの面でのストレスとストーリーをね、天秤にかけるともう2周目いいかなとかって思っちゃうね。だったらウィッチャーやりたいかもっていう感じ。ということで、そうだ、いろいろウエストエンドの人に話を聞かなきゃいけないところですね。あれ、ちょっとゲーム音が小さい気がする。少々お待ち。あ、OK っす。
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
古代のヴァンパイアから生まれた。ほう。あれ？なんか入れちゃったんだけど、何ここ？え？もうロードだらけで嫌になっちゃうね、最初から。今日は緑茶でございます。久しぶりに飲んだな。美味しいわ。最近ちょっと紅茶ばっかり飲んでたんでね。下水道下水のスカルのとこ行けんのかな、これ。角が生えたヴァンパイアの神話だって。不死者の前にのみ姿を現し、不死者ですらそれが何なのか見当もついてない。だって。非常に古い存在。セントポール教会が調べてんじゃん。赤の女王の夢と題した奇妙な詩だ。はあ、はあはあはあ。あ、そうだね、ここスカルたちの住処に繋がってんじゃないの、これ。ん？
It's locked, all right.
ロックされてんね。なんかよくわかんないとこ入ってきちゃったけど、なんか先に来ちゃった感じだね、これ。ミッションが多分きちんと始まらないと何も起こらない場所かな。 いや、時間を無駄にしたぜ。さて、ここでまたロードが長いんじゃよ。まあちょっといくつかウエストエンドのクエストも発生してるんで、そこら辺消費しながら情報収集していきましょうかね。ちゃんとレベル上げていかないとやっぱ勝てなくなっちゃうし。全然人殺してないんでね、今回のプレイ。エミリーを追跡する。あ、知らない人来た。こんにちは。
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
あらまあ、吸血鬼なのこの人。
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me, or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
あらららら。
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reed?
Don't you remember who you are, miss? What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good
参
causes.
政権系の人かな。
But that was before. Before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
What is the local news hereabouts, Miss Billow?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark.
だいぶ狂ってる感じに見えるね。
Suffering. Death.
でも最初のジョナサンみたいな感じはするよね。
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
Infection. Infection. The rats carry it, I heard. Rats. 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 Many rats around that big house. Funny smell, too. Dead flesh.
And where is this house?
West of the park. Not very far. A big house with
なん
no
か早速
sound,
有用な情報を手に入れ
light,
た感じだな。
no life left.
Can I help you, Miss Billow? I'm a doctor.
The rats. I need them.
I
結
must
局
go.
ネズミか。
Goodbye, Miss Billow.
今催眠レベル、あ、レベル4になったね。そしたら彼女と話できんじゃない？
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan.
いけたいけた。
Remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son? Such a
早速人の家を漁り始める。いい家じゃん。
It's a pleasure to see you again.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
吸血鬼見たとか言ってたもんね。
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your sister.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden, and I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane
自分も変
opinions.
人扱い
I'm
さ
a
れると。
leper in my own community.
あ
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their
あ
own
ー、さっき言
house.
ってた
They
家っ
could
て
just
こ
be
れか
afraid
な。
of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
Goodbye for now.
I remember when Mary came here with
健
her
康
husband
OK。
and her son.
まあこの辺の人は健康だよね、基本。勝手に2階に上がり込むっていうね。2人のベッドやん。あ、日記。ああ、クラレンスから手紙が来た。あー、なんか関係性悪い感じだね。金使っちゃったと？
It's locked.
ははは。あっちに渡れんな。
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign.
あ
No
あ、
sign
そう
of a
か。
struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
ジャックへ次はいつやるの？今夜。はあ、はあはあ。 次こそあなたの血を飲み干して不死者な姿で親友のシャーロットのところに帰るの。それでシャーロットと一緒に遊ぶの。
Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this
あらら
mess.
らら。
But who?
だから招かれなくても入れたのか。部屋を調べる。
Blood. I should follow the trail.
本当は血の跡がある。あ、北の港から来れるようになったね。おっといるな。めんどくさいので倒しちゃいます。そっちじゃない。そっちじゃない。ロックオンしたいのはそっちではない。あれ？別にこの人敵じゃないな。
Who are you? What are
あ、
you
ジャック
doing
出
here?
た。
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I'm not here to sustain myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I
ジャ
do
ック
love
結
the
構
British
好み
sense
の
of
顔してん
humor.
だけど。
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond, the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have
なんか
fun.
ステファノみたいな感じだな。
Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
なんかこの人やばそうだね。
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last wedding good.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes.
どういうこと？
Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary
ああ、
prey.
そういうことね。
At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
君には死がふさわしい。
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
ここで殺す決断もできたわけだ。ああ。シャーロット、友達死んじゃったよ。 こ開かなかったとこだよね。開いてねえっつって私が文句言ったとこ。なんか光ってない？あ、気のせいか。カリーナ。レストラン。
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu.
あ、なるほど。こうやって探せるんだ、彼のミッションも。誰もいないな。とりあえずシャーロットに報告しよう。
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's
あ、
suffrage.
みんななんか変な家っていう
Awful
ね。
smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the
みんな
park
違う
in
こと
the
言ってん
eastern
な。
part of this
別の場所の
neighborhood.
こと言ってる。
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood.
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
お、食いゲットした。ありがとう。
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
間違えた。食い強そうなのゲットしたな。レベル5。めっちゃ強いじゃん。うん。あ、ここじゃ武器使えない。いいや。警告のリーフレット。クラレンス・クロスリー。あー。まあ、感染源の前にまたちょっとサブクエをやっていこうと思います。あ、クラレンスいいんじゃん。話そう。
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors.
みんなあの家が怪しいっていうね。
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
自分
I'm
ヴァン
not
パイアだ
mad,
けどね。
Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
目の前にいるけどね。
Clarence, I'm your friend, so I'm not going to judge you. But think about your wife, your family. You're in pain, and you need help. I can help you.
I don't need a doctor, Jonathan. I need my best friend to trust me.
あ、これミスったわ。あーはーはーは
Do you realize you are ruining your family, Clarence? Don't you see the risk here?
Money isn't important. Not important when it is a matter of life and death. That is what my dear Venus cannot understand.
I can't believe I'm telling you this, but if warning people is that important to you, why not choose a more efficient way to spend your money?
Don't you think I tried? I knocked at every door, went to every bank, I even tried to be published. No, Jonathan. This is a one-man war.
People will laugh at you, if they don't already. Think about your wife and your position. Think about your future.
I understand my wife's embarrassment, but gossips don't kill, vampires do. There'll be no future if people don't open their eyes.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewin. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stone.
Ah, Ichabod出た。
Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
もう私がそうだけど。
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
まあとりあえずレストラン探そう。いやヒント取得ミスっちゃったな。基本信じてあげた方がいいんだね。あれいるじゃん。おっとこれはやばい。殴った方が早いな。なんでこうやってさ湧いてくっかな。体力ちょっと無理。 やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。いやマジであの煙。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。ほんとこれなんなん？ほんとありえない。ほんとこの向き無理。いやおかしいでしょあの減り方。毒強すぎだから。なんかさ、体力だけじゃなくてさ、スタミナも削られちゃうからさ、ほんとどうしようもないんだよね。いや本当にこれはね、マジでありえない。本当にこのシステムは、この武器は本当にありえない。おかしすぎる。いやこんだけさ戦闘がめんどくさい作りにしといてさ、こんなめんどくさい武器やったらさ、やる気失せちゃうじゃん。いやまさか負けると思わなかったんですけど、本当に最後ちょっと無理に行けばよかったな。でもこれでね、無理に行っちゃうとね、結局あの毒のエリアから逃げられなくて死ぬんだよ、倒しても。いや倒した敵がこれで全部リスポーンするのほんとめんどくさいんだわ。ほんとだるい。あっちで探そうかな。ほんとだる。ほんとだる。やってらんないっすね。いやこれ絶対2周目やらないわこのゲーム。もう今から言うわ。今から宣言します。いやーなんかね、これ普通にその宣伝っていうかさ、プロモーション見たときはすんげえ面白そうって思ったんだけど、実際内容面白いけど、もうねシステムがクソすぎるね。あ、ブラッド1個いる。やだな、めんどくさいな。ここ敵だらけだよね確か。ほらでかいのいるやん。おっと本当にめんどくさい。ちょなんか埋まってる人いるけど。やばいやばい。いやブラッド奪われんのほんとうざいんですわ。ああもう本当にクソゲー。なんで勝手にロックオンがずれるんだよ。もうだるいな。71、70。ちょっとあそこは戦ってくれてるから無視。レストラン、ここシアターでしょ。 あのでかいの戦ってくんないかな。20。レベル24ならどうにかなっか。おっと、終わったと思ったのに。意外とこれ使いづらいんだよね。レストランあっちか。人数多いな。この辺なはずなんだけどな。あれ死んだ。ああやばい。煙やろうか。めんどくさいから必殺技使う。はい。あとあっちにも一人いたよね。あ、まあいいや。あれネズミか。
This is despicable. レストランどっかにないの？おっと。ああ、また煙野郎いる。まだ38秒使えねえな。ああ、もう勝手にさロックオン変わるのやめてくんないかな、本当に。タイミングが悪い。いやー、もう惜しみなくブラッド使って戦わないとこいつは危険すぎる。あれ？レストランここじゃない？ 82。 あ、でもちゃうな。いや本当にこういうさ探す系のクエストがだるすぎてさ。あは。いや全然違う。
ぽいんだけどな。あった、レストラン。これだ。
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu.
よし、じゃああとはあっちね。一人なら容赦ねえ。なんでこれラスワン死なんの？確実に死ぬやろあれ。なんですぐ発動しないんだ。あーそっか、これさ。やってんね。やつそうそうなのとバトってるわ。いや、する。めんどくさいのでする。どこまで追いかけてくんだよ。あれ、ここマジでウエストエンド？ああ、タダオの家だ。とりあえず話そう。
Are you sure you'll manage to reach the West End by yourself, Mr. Kimura?
Yes, I'm perfectly capable of defending myself. We're not ambushed by insane cultists.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
この人特に展開していなかった。レストラン。あの辺のやつ倒さないとダメだな、多分。あれ強っ。レベル差あるからこれで倒しちゃう。もう惜しみなく必殺技使っていかないと。やっぱね、このでかい敵はね危険です。この辺のはずなんだよな、レストラン。ウエストエンド。あれ？あはあはしちゃう。この井戸のところからあっち側行って、こっちか。やっぱあいつ倒さなきゃダメだ。あー、ここあれだわ。あいつ煙出すやつだわ。気をつけないと。ブラッド効かないんだよね、あの人。拳銃でバンバンやるか。間違えた。 この煙がねやばいんですよ。おいしょ。倒した。よし、この辺だな多分レストラン。あれねえ、誰かいるな。あはー、あ、ちゃうやん。こっちじゃなくてあっちじゃん。あ、おっと、炎やばい。やっぱりね、体型がそんなにでかくないやつはひるんでくれるから。ちょっと炎、やばいの来た。おっと、この煙はやばい。おっとっとっとっと、やばいやばいやばい。パリーができない。はあ、今のはいけてんだろう。スタミナが本当にこの煙嫌なのよ。あ、そこレストランじゃん。あ、違う。これ何？
It's locked.
はあ、テンプルアーケード。あ、ここに普通にレストランありそうだけどね。ないんか。上とか。いるの？おっと、スタミナの減りが早い。 いや敵いるし。あはー、レストランどこよ。服屋さんしかないじゃん。いや降りて倒すかスカル。2人いるな。スカルとね狭い空間で戦うの嫌なのよね普通に。うっそ、今バリしたわ。うっそ、狭いとこほんと無理。いや最大値削られんのほんと痛いから。
This is Braille.
おう、
I need someone who can read this.
なんかゲットしたぞ。神秘の目。新しいミッション。クエストどこで見んだ？あ、これか。あれでもこれメインクエストだよな。あ、これか。あーはーはーはー。まあいいや、とりあえず。レストランどこだ？あ、これか。あ、違う。あとエリア範囲内なの公園の中か。いるし。静かに探索もできやしない。銃ずるい。いるねいっぱい。レストラン探ししてるだけなんだよ俺は。あそこにも一人いるんだよな、でかいのが。あと一発食ろう。なんか来た。おっとっと、めっちゃ声するけどなんかいるんじゃない？聞け。でもやっぱ降りてかないとエリア内だな。 よいしょ。うっそ。何、死に間際に爆発すんのこいつ。レストランが見つかりませんな。この通りはあ、ここさっきの通りか。あれ、あれ入れた。なんだここ。
Fresh water. As long as it's not holy water, I may find some use for it.
お水、自分の部屋のお花にお水あげられる。ただそれだけか、ここ。はははははは。戻るのめんどくさいからそれは後回しだけど、本当にレストランがない。ここ木村忠の家だろう。こっちじゃないよな。いやマジでこの辺のはずなんだけど。
It's locked, all right.
開かない。レストランじゃないんだよな、ここ。おお、レジを勝手に開けるという。びっくりした。フリーズしたかと思った。怖っ。もうフリーズ怖すぎて。あ、これか。あった。
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
扉が封鎖されてるけどね。よし、ラッセルのとこ行こう。でついでに話を聞いて。
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, Now that you mention it,
マクファーソン家ともう一つどっかが。
They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Thank you.
I have found a restaurant that could satisfy you, Mr. Russell. The most intriguing and exotic restaurant in London.
Really? You have piqued my interest. Where is it?
It's a place where you eat in complete darkness and try to identify your meal without anything but your palate.
My, oh my, how interesting. It could even be fun to eat a little poisson et frites that way. Oh, thank you,
私だったら
Dr.
絶対行きたくないけどね。何食わされるかわかんないってことでしょ。やだわ。
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
はい、いいや。サンキュー。さて、ミッション成功したので、さっきの神秘の目気にあるね。これどこ？あー、スワンジー博士のダイアログが発生してるし、あっち？あっちか。ちょっと待って、もう一つはこれ。あれ出ない。あは？あ、追跡するんだって。あ、収集物見つけなきゃいけないんだ。なかなかに大変だね、これ。いいや、そしたら、これやりながら帰ろう。ここ抜けていきたいな。あれ？こっちか。収集物ね、なかなか難しいね、注文が。あれ、全然違う方行ってんじゃん。マーカーたくさんつきすぎなんだよ。これいらない。あれ？どっちの方向だ？あれ？カスタムマーカーが出ないのはなぜですか？まあいいや。マジで出ないの嫌がらせかな。いや、バグ多すぎでしょ。で、これ、もうこっちじゃないし。で、これでさ、何度もマップを開くとフリーズする危険性がどんどん上がるんだよ。なんかね、マップ開けば開くほどフリーズする可能性が高くなるみたいなこと書いてあったんだよね。レビューサイトで。いや、もうすぐ方向音痴になる。あ、出た。こっちか。頑張ってるね、クローリー。あ、封鎖されてて無理系？これ。あ、開きそう、開きそう。相手をくれ。開くわ。一回開けたとこか、ここ。 でこのまままっすぐ抜けて病院。ついでにお花に水をあげましょう。あ、ここは彼女の家か。待って、ダイアログが増えていない。OK。この辺あらかた倒したから敵出てこないべ。この先はリスポーンしてるはず。気をつけないと。いるね。ちょっとバトってもらって。今のうちや。スカルさん、あっちと戦ってマジで。病院周り危険すぎでしょ。こっちじゃねえや。基本やり合っている。それでよろしい。この病院のすぐそこでやらないで、マジで。病院の健康状態は、ああ、片頭痛の薬だけか。無理。ないです。とりあえずスワンジュに話しに行くか。あれ、今度はどこに隠れた？そっちか。
Hello, Jonathan. How are things on the West End front?
Complicated, my friend. The rich and powerful feel threatened by the disease and have asked me to put an end to it.
Yes. It is odd how resolving a crisis suddenly increases in urgency when it affects those who matter.
It looks like the epidemic is spreading to the western districts of London. I am trying to locate the source of the infection.
It won't be an easy task, my friend. This disease is highly contagious.
Since this epidemic is evidently linked to the vampire curse, we must find the original carrier to understand where it comes from.
I admire your logic, Jonathan, but be careful. Rationality, when it comes to your kind, is not always a reliable lens.
Do you not think epidemiology could be helpful in this matter? To retrace the origin of infection through time and topology?
If anyone can perform such a miracle, it will be you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson, the famous tycoon, is well versed in vampire and occult knowledge?
No, I did not. But that is no surprise. For half a century, it has been quite the trend for English nobility to join secret societies and occult circles.
Did he contact the Brotherhood of St. Paul? Try to join your group?
It would not surprise me, but I am certain he's never been a member.
But Aloysius Dawson is only a rich merchant.
Yes, richer than Croesus. Wealth is more respected than title these days, even in England.
Does the Brotherhood of St. Paul know anything about the Ascalon Club?
Well, I'm afraid that's unlikely. Ascalon is a sensitive topic, and whatever material the Brotherhood has, I may not have access to.
Who could answer me then?
Usher Talltree, our current primate, may be the only one able to answer you. He's a discreet man who lives in the West End.
ウエストエンドに教会の重要人物もいるんだ。さて、自分の部屋でいろいろと作ったりして展示読める人探しに行こう。
Done.
OK、 水あげました。あとね、普通に両手武器パワーアップしたい。いけたー、来たぜ。ああ、これどっちかしか選べないってことなんだね。ダメージ強化、スタン増加、スタン増加、ダメージ強化、ハンドリング強化。まあ、ハンドリングだよね。オッケーオッケー。これのシステムがようやく意味が分かった、今。とりあえずレベルアップ完了の片手武器。無理だね。いや。いけんね。リロードはいいや、別に。スタンは大事。オッケー。じゃあこの辺もちゃんと拳銃にしといていいかな、サブ武器。うん。オッケーオッケー。で、ははホワイトチャペル方面抜けて人の回復してって感じかな。あ、でも弱ってる人全然いないじゃん。いいや、そしたらレベル上げちゃうか。あー、でも待って、メイソン先に見つけた方が良さげだよね。行こう、普通に行こう。だけここにいんの。あっちにもいるな。全然気づいてないだけだわ。あれ、あ、ここ隠れ家のとこか。間違えた。大嫌いなロード時間が始まりました。 こどこ？入ったことないよね、多分。まあせっかくだし探索するか。助けて。助けて言われたで。
I cannot enter.
楽勝だな。お、嘆願書。なんか全然回収してない。キャドガン。誰この人。とりあえずちょっと収集。誰？なんか思いもかけず新しいクエストと遭遇したけど、まあ、これがオープンワールドの面白いとこだけどね。助けてやろうじゃねえか。
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
一人助けた。なんか一人増えた。あ、これ助けた人一晩寝ないと帰らないのか。
I need someone who can read this.
あれ、また展示のテキストゲットした。まあ、とりあえず出てかな。ここから出れんの？あ、ドアを解錠。ほんほん。あ、さっき入れなかったとこだ、ここ。オッケーオッケー。じゃあ出ましょうか。思わぬところにクエストがみたいな。あれ？迷子。こっちじゃないや。階段登らないでここ開けて、ここか。あれ、ここ助けた部屋だな。あれ、迷子。あ、こっちだ。ネズミだらけやん。まあ展示のクエストやったら寝るでいいかな。そうすればちょっといろいろと展開するでしょ。 スカルめっちゃいるやん。出よ、無視して出よ。おっとー、いるねー。間違えた。ロックオンする前にやっちまったよ。もうね、格闘技で、ね、普通に倒せるこの辺のレベルの人間。さっきまでさウエストエンドで戦ってたから。あ、いった。何してくれんねん。いった。やっぱこういうの、こいつらちょっと気を抜くと本当に痛いね。まあそこのスカルは気づかねえからいいや。こっちっていうかさ、外れてるわマーキング。あ、でかいんだよねここね。スルー。はい、オッケー。最後に血をありがとね。お墓の方だと思うんだよな。おっと、なぜ吸血鬼がいるここに。嫌だね吸血鬼、強いから戦うの。54、52、50。このまま墓行けたっけ。お、突然目の前に現れる敵。よし、相変わらずいるな。あー、バーニング痛いね。炎。さて着いたぞお墓。お 墓の、あれ、お墓の中じゃない。こっちだ。シャドウイーコン、メイソンスアポロ、そこにいるな。ちょっと何見つかった？あんたかい。あれの力が弱いな。
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say? No, thank you.
It cannot be safe for a blind man to live here alone. Let me enter, sir. I swear I mean you no harm.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman. All right, Doctor, come on in.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
全然この人いるの気づかなかったわ。あ、新しい周品やった。
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool.
ごめんね、ちょっと先にいろいろ見させて。
It's locked, all right.
よし、お話ししましょうか。
So what is the name of my nocturnal visitor?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. As I already explained to you, I'm inquiring about the epidemic.
Dr. Reed? The eminent surgeon? My God, I'd never have expected a brilliant physician like you to knock on my door.
You flatter me, sir.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work when I still had my sight.
お、ファンだった。
I loved it. I'm Mason Swanborough, by the way.
And what else have you learned about me, Mr. Swanborough?
I know you assisted Professor Carell in France, and that you invented a new blood transfusion method based on his work.
Yes. Those were frustrating but exciting days. I loved it.
Yes, the thrill of research and discovery. This is what drives people like us, Dr. Reed. Oh, how I envy you.
Does someone take care of you in this isolated place?
My sister Loretta and I have our daily routine. Every morning and evening she comes by so we can talk and eat. Then she leaves and I stay.
Where does your sister go?
Well, let's just say she earns enough money for us both.
What's so amusing about that?
I won't hide the truth from you. Loretta sells a fake miracle elixir to the sick people of Whitechapel.
Do you not appreciate your sister's visits?
Loretta is the best and worst thing that happened to me, and I believe she could say the same thing about me.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
I hear them hissing and scratching at my door every night. The sick made mad by the fever. But these walls are thick, and my lock is solid.
Do you know Braille, Mr. Swanborough?
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time, yes. Why?
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness. It's written in Braille, so I thought perhaps it was yours.
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke? Let me see.
Here it is.
This letter seems authentic. And it actually refers to an experimental cure for blindness. You have piqued my interest, Dr. Reed.
Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger diary. I'd be glad if you could find the other pages.
I found another page of the diary, Mr. Swanborough.
This diary is still not complete.
The man who wrote it claims he is a member of some scholarly brotherhood called the St. Paul's Stole.
Really? I've heard of them. Very capable scientists. Perhaps the man who wrote this really found a cure.
I would need more pages to figure it out, but it's as promising as it is intriguing.
もう一枚探さなきゃいけないのかい。ほうほうほう。
You seem unwell, sir. Do you need my assistance?
Actually, I feel worse than usual. Can you give me something?
顔面神経痛はないんだよ。ごめんね。
No, not now. Later, perhaps. Goodbye, Mr. Swanborough. I'll leave you now.
妹はいけすかないやつだけ
Wandering
ど
in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool.
お兄さんはいい人だね。さてあ、でもあと1枚なんだ。どこにあるんだろうな。やっぱヒントが出ない系クエストですね。しょうがないな。とりあえず隠れがすぐ近くにあるからまあ戻りながら行くか。隠れはどこだっけ。せっかくだからこっちの通路も開放してないかな。あっち側から開けないとダメだもんね。どうだろう。でもしてた気がする。ちょっとここ行こうかな。わかんないんだよね、開いてるかどうか。
I'm cheap and I'm clean.
Game you pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way? This week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my fault, man.
こっちで合ってる。合ってるね。あ、ちょうど彼女いるから話すか。お兄さん会ってきたよ。
Good evening, my dear colleague.
あ、特にヒント更新されてない。
How is the sound situation evolving in Whitechapel these days? Goodbye, Miss.
あ、省略資格か。オッケーオッケー。ここからホワイトチャペルじゃなくてウエストエンドに入る道開けたと思うんだけど、開いてないわ。残念でした。じゃあこっちから行きますか。そこ開けに行こう。ここ面倒だから。ああ、そうだよね。こっちから回んないとダメってことだな。違う。ネズミを吸いたかったのではない。
Thirst for blood.
いや、展示の紙もう1枚ぐらい欲しいけどね。なんか誰か呼んだ今の。後ろからずるいわ。いや、スカル戦ほんとめんどくさいよね。こっちでいいのかな。こっちだ。ここら辺も倒してないからいるだろう。あ、倒したな。ここの休憩所というかあれはロードが入ってめんどくさいんで使わない。いや、静かでいいね。なんか光っとる。で、病院からこっちじゃなくてこっちや。あ、自分の部屋行けんな。寝るか。ちょうどいい。オートファジーいける。あとね、クローが普通に弱いんだわ。あ、クローでスタンいけんのいいね。ブラッド回復もいいんだけど迷うな。やっぱこっちだよね。ヘルス増加。スタミナはいい。ブラッドの上限は？ブラッド上限上げとこ。病院疲れた人が。疲労頭痛薬ないんだよね。頭痛薬ないんだよね。深刻になっちゃった。ホワイトチャペルが。疲労風邪。いや、薬の作り方をさ、結構みんな大変なことになってんな。風邪競争剤、風邪競争剤、風邪競争剤めっちゃいるじゃん。作れるだけ作っとこうか。ていうか競争剤作るのに何が足りないの？次亜塩素ナトリウム。まあ OK、 これがあったら買おう。さて病院は誰だっけ？近いからちょっと病院。ソロはダメ。 モーティマーとモーティマーだけだな、治療できんの。モーティマーどこだっけ、いるの。そこだ。
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you, then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here.
手紙を探してくれと。
If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
クエスト増えちゃったよ。
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail.
そうだね。
I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
ミッションできたな。どこだ？ああ、近いね。オッケー。
My sweet girl.
どっちだ？全然違う。病院周り意外と危険地帯なんだよな。あれ、キープアウト。こっち行けないやん。こっちか。出る出口間違えたな、確実に。 よし、こっちで。いやー、展示の資料どこにあんだろう。おー、いるわー、いるわー。ただここ怪物もいるよね。ちょっとやり合って死んでくれるのを待ちながら。死んだね。あれ、いけなかった。あっち先にやった方がいいかな。でも火炎放射あるな。よいしょ。おっと、煙。やばいやばいやばい、煙本当に無理。おいしょ。あー、マジ煙めんどいわ。オッケー。どっちだ。この辺だな、お家。あれ、ここ秘密基地だよね。あ、ここなんだ。隠れ家アンロックしたけど。お、我らは我らのうちにミッション行けた。これか。
It's locked.
あれ、あ、これか。僕はまたやるよ。
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
まあそうね、これは本人に渡した方がいいんじゃないかな。あれ、あ、ブラッドがね。てか結構さ、さっきの収集物いけたんじゃね？あー、一個だけ見つけてないのがあるんだ。はいはいはい。 てか頭痛薬ってどこで作るねん。普通にちゃんとやってんだけどな。いや、この病院広くてほんとめんどくさいよね。よいしょ。こっちじゃねえや。こっちじゃねえや。
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
ちょっとお母さんに話しかけたいんじゃないんだわ。話終わってくれないから。来た。
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody
め
read
っちゃお
it
母
but
さん
me.
の前で渡してるけど。
This is for you then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
本当に死にたいんだね、この人ね。
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Don't you see how lucky you are?
ああ、これ
You're
あんま良
rich,
くないかも。
you're in good health, and you have a loving mother. You're simply drowning in self-pity.
Leave me alone then, Doctor, and let me drown myself.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
オッケー。新しく見つけた人で会話してない人が結構いるんだよね。あ、そうそう、この人。キャドガン。ホワイトチャペル一回行くか。もう一回。あ、でも待って。一回、戻ってウエストエンドに。で、そっからホワイトチャペル方面の扉を開けよう。港もすごいしね、風が。とりあえず港通ってだな。港側の扉は開いてるし、オッケー。港は確かこっちから行けたはず。私の記憶が正しければ。これでミスってたら嫌なんだよな。はい、ミスってる。こっちや。あれ違うな。ウエストエンド入っちゃったな。間違えたん。間違えたんご。あっちだな、港。まあ、めんどくさいけど行くか。ちょっと港が回っていきたいから。その方が効率が単純にいいっていう。いるな、なんか。いろいろ。こいつら ゃんさっき倒さなかったっけ？普通に橋渡ろう。いるけど。これで死なんのかい。いった。炎攻撃はねだるいのでね。このまますぐ。だいぶ道が頭の中入ってきたぞ。強い。この人強いじゃん。おいしょ。いや、レベル高い人には容赦なく必殺技を使っていかないと。この辺強くね敵。なぜ？深刻になってるからか。
You again. What do you want?
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's
なんかすごい音してるけど。
That bastard's become something of a holy man these days. And someone should remind him who really rules the docks.
Are you worried about the conditions in London?
I've heard rumours about some sort of militia patrolling, killing the sick. The wet boot boys are overrun.
Do you need medical help, sir?
Yeah, I do. If you can throw in some drugs, I can find use for that too.
So you can sell them on the black market? Sorry. I'll only provide you with exactly what you need.
Fair enough, Dr. Reed. Don't cost me nothing to ask.
これ何の音？
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
なんかすんごいナイフでやる音聞こえたけど。なんか戦闘態勢入ってるけど。なんなん？
Been a while since we've seen any new faces round.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Have you got any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
As long as he keeps on helping the poor, I'll keep my boys at bay, even if he pisses them off.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
The bodies are piling up, but I'm not afraid. I'm still alive, and I intend to stay that way.
Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters, Edwina.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys, that's my feeling about it. But ghosts don't scare me.
You don't believe he really saw something then?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
いいハンドル部品。トリガーはいらないかな。遠距離武器のよくわかんないや。まあいいや。遠距離武器使わないからね。
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr.
いや、
Reed.
何の音これ。
What do you want?
Can I offer you my medical help, Miss Cox?
Giving out for free? You'd make a poor businessman, Dr. Reed.
Perhaps I would. Please, take this. You will feel better.
Thank you. But don't expect me to owe you anything.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
マジで何の音。まあいいや。トム・ワッツが風邪ひいてる。あんたはダメよ。
Welcome back, Doctor. What can I do for you?
Have you got any recent news on Sean Hampton's shelter?
It's still there, just like the turquoise turtle. That means there is still hope, somehow.
Are you concerned about the sanitary situation?
It may surprise you, but I'm not. I've heard about the men-at-arms and the fights between gangs at night, but that's nothing new.
I wish I shared your optimism.
It's not optimism. Gangs have been fighting in this part of town since before I was born. This war will stop when enough blood has been spilled.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do.
おお、愛し合ってん
I
だ。
know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her for sure.
What is
ついちゃう
bothering you
よ。
then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
いい人やな、トム。
Do you need any help?
It can't be good for business to see the bartender cough in your beer.
Indeed. It would be a shame to taint the delicate taste.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Reed. My customers and I, we all thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
サブリナも風邪ひいてんやん。
So few clients. What with the epidemic, no one dares.
トムが移したろ。
You still working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I was told he caught a deadly disease but survived against all odds. Maybe he really is touched by grace.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
Of course I am. Everywhere's deserted, houses, streets all empty. People buying guns. We hear them go off every night. It's bloody frightening.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
そういうわけではないんだけどな。
Do you require medical assistance, Miss Cavendish?
Don't feel so good if you have to know. I knew that keeping the bar open with the epidemic wasn't a good idea.
Take this, it'll help. Perhaps you should think about closing the turquoise turtle for a while.
Tom always said we've got to keep the doors open. But thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
These are good drinks just as likely to cause a problem.
あと誰風邪ひいてた？イカボドが疲れてる。ロドニーが風邪ひいてる。あとステラさんも風邪ひいてるじゃない、ヒロ。マーティン。このマーティン・ナイチゲールってどこにいんだっけ？それよな。ロッティはあそこだ。オッケーオッケー。ちょっとまあ探しながら行きましょう。
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming.
みんな一気に風邪ひくからね、本当に。とりあえずステラさんがこの辺だったはず。あれ？あ、いたいたいた。
Good evening, Mrs. Fishburne. May I come in, please?
Of course. Dr. Reed.
この人声かわいいよね。
What can I do for you, Dr. Reed?
Do you have any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I just heard the sad saint keeps on helping the sick and poor. God bless his soul.
Aren't you worried about the conditions around here?
Hate everywhere. The city will not sink because of this flu. It's the violence that will finish us all.
Mrs. Fishburne, are you in need of any medical assistance?
I am afraid I am, Doctor. I don't feel well at all.
Then let me give you a prescription.
I thank you for your generosity, sir. It's something this part of town truly needs.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
I can't remember.
どこにいんだろう。とりあえず西の港の方かな。イカボードと川、確か。突然のロード。なんかいるね。強いのいるな。ギリンガムさんはこんなか。そうだ、ナイトシェルターの中にいるんだ。せやったせやった。どっから降りんだっけ。あ、あれ、こっから行けなかったっけ。あ、こっちだ。みんな下にいる。あ、マーティンってこいつか。どうやって降りんだ。ここだ。
Good evening, young man.
There's no need to call me that, Dr. Reed.
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
He keeps investing time helping the poor and sick. Good for him. And for them.
Are you feeling worried about the sanitary situation in London?
This city is falling apart. The disease kills so many people. No one cares about anything or anyone anymore but themselves.
Show me what you have to offer then, Mr. Nightingale.
欲しいもんねえな。いいや。
Good evening, young man.
There's no need to call me that, Dr. Reed.
Young man, do you require medical attention?
I don't
I
like
got as a young
asking
man.
for help, but I don't want to be one of those poor sods dying in the streets.
There's no shame in asking for help, especially when you are in desperate need of it. Here, Take this. You should recover in no time.
Thank you. I suppose.
Goodbye.
と
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy. If not,
ロドニーここに来たのね。おかえり。
Good evening, sir. I'm glad to see you safe.
I am not safe. I should never have come back here. My life is in danger. I know it.
You're much safer here than in that contaminated area.
Bullets kill people quicker than diseases and epidemics, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about this district?
The East End Docks only knows one rule. Dog eat dog, and blood calls for blood. The gang will have their revenge on me one way or another.
What can you tell me about the locals?
Most people would say that Sean Hampton and Tom Watts are good men who try to sort things out. But for me, the real boss around there was my best friend, Jack Gillingham.
Jack Gillingham, you say?
Everyone round there knew Jack. He was a rock. A mountain, even. He feared nothing.
Your friend Jack has something to do with you fleeing to the contaminated area where I found you. I want to know more.
Jack is dead. That's all you need to know. Dead because of me. So much violence. So much sorrow. All of that because I refused to be insulted again.
No man can predict the exact outcome of his actions. It's the curse we have to live with. We can only gamble and do what we think is best.
Perhaps you're right. The district was doomed before I was born. But I cannot stop myself thinking that Jack died for me.
Why do you say that?
After I killed that gang member, the Wet Boot Boy suspected Jack. And being loyal and all, he did not refute the accusation.
ああ、そうなんだ。
You are not going to spend the rest of your life hiding, Rodney. What are you planning to do?
Honestly, I have no idea. How am I supposed to live while so many have suffered because of me?
Only you can answer that question. But one thing is certain. Since you owe Jack your life, I think it's fair to live it in a way that would make him proud.
That's the kind of thing Jack could have said, Dr. Reed. Thank you for that. I believe you're a good guy too.
The death of your friend has affected you deeply, hasn't it?
Jack Gillingham was the real deal. He believed we could change the world if we were united and focused enough. And he brought out the best in each of us.
You're right. He died to save you. That alone gives me an idea of the kind of man he was.
He was the bravest. And no one dares to say openly that he got killed by those bastards.
Your friend's plan was audacious, if not reckless. No one stands up by themselves to a gang like the Wet Boot Boys.
How dare you say that? You never met him.
怒っちゃった。話す必要ないかなと思ったけど。
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
I heard he kept on helping people. But I tried to stay away from his shelter. I don't feel safe there.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
Not really. I've spent so many days hiding to escape retaliation from the Wet Boot Boys. Now that there's so much chaos, they might forget about me.
Do you need help, Mr. Grader?
Death by disease or by bullet? Do I really have to choose?
Well, I have nothing to stop the bullets, but this should make you feel better.
You have a strange sense of humor, Dr. Reed. But thanks anyway.
Goodbye, Mr. Grader. Take care.
あともう一人。あれ？いなくなっちゃった。もう一人いたんだけどな。
Are you certain you're not lost, sir? You seem...
あ、イカボードいたいたいた。大丈夫あんた。
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed,
Can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Have you heard any rumors regarding Sean Hampton's shelter?
The sad saint will always be a target for vampires, but I'm keeping an eye out.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
It seems the Guard of Priwen has declared war on vampires. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, though.
Really? I thought you'd be thrilled by this news.
The Guard can be reckless. They rush into a fight without thinking. The citizens of London should not be the collateral victims.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
Actually, I may. In my line of work, I have to stop at any sign of infection.
Treating a vampire hunter's wounds is certainly a first for me. I'm happy to help you, of course.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Your support means a lot.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throckmorton.
で、シェルターの彼女。どっちだっけ、シェルター。ああ、この先だね。強いな。まあいいか。よいしょ。強いからとりあえず必殺技を使っとく。ここがシェルターの入り口だからもうやり合ってんな。死んどらん。死んだと思ったのに。よし。いるなぁ。後ろ来てるー。いや、今のはいいだろう。今のはバリーできていいだろう。押したよ、ちゃんと。こっちや。
Much work. Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter? Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
There are rumors of infected people turned mad by the fever and roaming the streets, attacking everyone they see. Is it true?
As long as you stay away from the streets, you should be all right.
I hope you're right, Dr. Reed. We feel kind of left alone around here.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her. Plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her
なんかすごい
That's
話だな。
quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill. But I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
お姉ちゃんのこと好きじゃないの？
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Do you need my medical attention, Miss Paxton?
I can keep going, Dr. Reed.
Of course you can, Miss Paxton. But I wouldn't recommend it. Please, take this. You will feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Thank you. Really.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
This Seymour worried.
ショーンは健康。ジゼルは大丈夫。オッケー。ということで、そろそろ時間が迫ってきたので、そうだね、ここの港の人は終わったから、じゃあウエストエンド入ったら終わりにしようかな。ウエストエンド入って、そうだ、扉開けることだけ忘れずやったら終わりにします。攻撃力高いな。あれ、ああ、ここから渡るんだ。そうだそうだ。あー、でかいのいるよね。強い強い。回復できない状態にされちゃうのきついな。オッケー。やり合ってる。助ける気はゼロです。ここは入れるはず。オッケーオッケー。でここ開けに行く。 ぐるっと回んなきゃダメな感じか。
No civilians allowed, sir.
ここだね、開けてないの。オッケー。はい、ということでホワイトチャペルに直でつながる道を開けられたので、今回はここで終わりにしたいと思います。オートセーブがどこで入ってるかこのゲーム分かりづらいんだよね。ということでありがとうございました。